So welcome to our demo day today. So we just successfully released the B5 upgrade, and of course this will come with some new changes we want to present you now. And Max and I will go through those changes right now, and we will start with some governance changes. So we introduced a new type of governance proposal, which is called expedited proposals. So of course we sometimes have the problem that governance proposal in general need to be voted on for a longer period of time. So currently we have the time set to 1 day instead of 6 hours to let all of you guys have a chance to see it and to vote on it. But on some rare occasions, we need to have very fast decisions regarding pausing a pool or even creating a new pool or in general emergency issues. And for that, we created expedited proposals. And those mean that they are just like normal proposals, but the voting period is much shorter. So the voting period of them are 30 minutes currently, but the catch is that you need 76% quorum to pass. And if it doesn't reach a quorum in 30 minutes, it will just go over to a normal proposal with 1 day. And you can also create those kind of expert proposals. For example, if you're on the governance page and want to create an expert proposal, you will just create a normal proposal like we'd ever do, and then it's just a test proposal, and then you always find the expedited check down here. Once you click that, you can continue. The only difference too is that you also have to have a way higher minimum deposit amount, because having such a short voting period might be dangerous. So of course the entry should be higher, or the barrier should be higher to create such. So you need 100,000 KYVE to create such a proposal. And we also introduced custom voting periods for special proposals. So for example, in order to create a pool, which can be done right here, we decreased the voting time to 2 hours instead of the old 6 hours, so we can just create pools much faster. And then, this is, I think, way more practical. And this is regarding the governance. When you create an expedite proposal, you will see them by a yellow check mark over here that they're expedited, so you can recognize them like that. And if we go further to the pools, we introduced also a major change called custom keys. So right now we are just indexing blockchains, which is fine, but there's way more data in the real world than just blockchains. But we were highly specialized on them, so we only used the height of a blockchain as our key. So for example, block 100 is always the 100th block, and so on, and we could just increase that normally. But for other data types, like for example pricing data we want to index in the future, you don't have a numerical key like in blockchains. We introduced custom keys, for example. This could then be timestamps or UUIDs or any other kind of IDs you can imagine for data. So we implemented on the core side. For you, nothing will change, but you will see some small details which change the UI. So you will see the current key, which in the blockchain space will be just the current height the chain is indexed to. And we also introduced the current value. So now we allow also little values saved on chain, because we only store all the data on Arbitrage right now, but we can't have it on chain. What we did is we took the last data item in the bundle and save it on chain to actually enable oracles in the future. For example, if you think about a pricing pool, which always indexes the current price, you can display the current price and the current value with the current key as a timestamp, and then you can, for example, use a network like Axler to actually transfer this information on chain to other chains, so others could use KYVE as an actual oracle. And here you have also information about the keys. So it's not very different from before. It's called key now instead of height, but we will also keep the height down here because it's basically just a counter for data items, and it will most certainly always match, because the key is just in blockchain, the height, the number. And of course, we'll also have the proposed value here. And that's actually it regarding custom keys. And also just for your info, I texted with some people on the notes channel. So they had the issue that they received points and also that they are like unstaking now, 1%. That's because we just made also the protocol upgrade with the chain upgrade. So every pool received a new version, a new one-time version, and if you use Kaiser, everything should have went fine. So the Kaiser should have automatically downloaded the binaries and restarted your node. So you should have received no problem. But if you still run your binaries manually, you have to watch out, because then what happens is if you miss an upgrade, your node will exit, because of course it still runs an old version, and you can't run an old version on the pool which has like a newer version, because especially in this is a breaking change. So your nodes will exit, and then you will miss votes. And if you miss 5 votes in a row, you will get removed from the active valid data set, and you receive like a timer slash of currently 1%. So yeah, we still highly recommend using the Kaiser to run protocol nodes on the pool. And yeah, I think that was on my side. And yeah, I think Max can continue then.
Thank you very much, Troy. So Troy will present you 2 of the major new features. There's one last new feature, which is changed a lot regarding actually the user workflow. So now we have unbonding time for staking and delegation on the protocol level. So the unbonding time was already set for the chain nodes, and on the chain side, if you, for example, delegate it through the Explorer to a chain node, then you have to wait 21 days to actually get your funds back. This is now also implemented on the chain side, but with a few differences. For example, we still have risk-free delegation on chain level. I will do this as an example. For example, go to the Moonbeam pool and just delegate to the first validator. Okay. So then I can go to my delegations tab. In my delegations tab, when I click on undelegate, we already have the warning. Actually, this time is not accurate anymore, so this was changed with the new update now. So this is set to 5 days. So keep in mind, so this is 5 days, and it takes 5 days to get your funds back. So for example, undelegate 50 KYVE. I can see the delegation or the undelegation was performed immediately, but my tokens are locked. So this is because the delegation itself is risk-free. So on the Cosmos side, you would still be able to receive rewards, but you would also be able to get slashed. For us, or on the protocol level, it's the undelegation is performed immediately, and you can't get slashed on these tokens anymore, but they are still locked for 5 days. With staking, it's a little bit different. So for staking, it's important that the node stays active, because, for example, somebody could upload an invalid bundle and then immediately leave the pool without any punishments or anything like that. And that's why we also introduced staking for unbonding times for staking. When I here, for example, click on unstake 100 KYVE. Then I can see that the staking amount is still there, but it's also listed as an entry in the unbonding mode. So this means after 5 days, the actual unstaking will be performed. So one has to keep in mind that I always need to keep my node running for an additional amount of time. And that's basically it. A few different things I want to mention for the consensus testnet. So we distributed the points for the chain node runners for phase 1. So this is completely done, and we will do it the same way when phase 2 ends. So we will reward the chain node runners at the end of the consensus testnet. And also we have this thing ongoing with the engineering tasks. So people who find some bugs or even some exploits on the chain, and submit these tasks. We keep track of all of these tasks, and then we do a final evaluation and reward the points for these tasks. So everything you submit through the Discord and reaches us will get put in the list, and you will receive the points afterwards. Yeah, so that's basically it. Those were the 3 new features and everything that changed from our side. Are there any questions? So the chain nodes should be stable. So we didn't change anything regarding this, so only the logic itself changed. So are you experiencing any issues with your chain node? Or was it just a general question? So the guide to setting up chain nodes stays the same.
So the next question, will there be more stress tests in the future, and have any problems been noticed which have already been fixed? I think that's also more of a question for you, Max.
Yes, so we have already implemented a few new features to keep the nodes better running. So the biggest issue was actually that we don't have transaction fees for now, and that's definitely something we need to add. But this is made a little bit of work to do, because we have to include it in all of the protocol nodes and stuff like that, but we'll definitely be added within the next week. And then we will do another stress test again. So the stress test was super helpful for us. It was very nice to see the chain under load. It actually survived the chain, even though there were a few stalls, but it was very, very nice testing. So thanks to all who participated in this.